Right on, writers, and welcome first time viewers to the Books by Adrian author platform. And this is Chronicles. Welcome back. Uh, we're doing it live again, not because I didn't have time to record a video, but because I liked it last week. I like doing it live. I like talking to you guys. I like not having to talk to a camera by myself and then edit my stupid face after. It's nice to do a thing and be done with it and have you guys be a part of it throughout. So I'm going to give people a little bit of time to get into the chat. For those of you who are watching this on the replay, those of you who are stumbling upon me for the first time, hi, my name is Adrian. This is Books by Adrian. This is a platform where my author platform is broader than just YouTube. But this YouTube platform I usually use to grow as a writer, to improve my craft by surrounding myself with people who do the same and who do it better or very well or folks who know what they're doing. I try to learn from everyone, and that's kind of what the whole idea is behind the channel is learn from everybody. I'm no expert. I am not here to tell you how to do things. I'm here to share with you how I do things, and how I do things has become what it is because I've been doing it on my own and learning as I go, and and because I draw from other people. So we're just gonna keep doing that. I'm rambling now. I'm babbling. But I don't know. I just wanted to welcome everybody to Chronicles. It should be pretty interesting episode. I wanted to do a whole big thing where I literally showed you guys step by step the evolution of the branding, the new branding that happened this last year. It occurred to me before the show that I can't actually show you guys that stuff. I signed, like I signed agreements. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about the process. I'm going to describe to the best of my ability the kinds of phases that we went through, and I am going to answer questions as clearly and honestly as possible. If there are monetary questions, keep in mind I didn't always handle all the money side of things for the rebrand. I didn't at all handle the money side of things for the rebranding. So I don't have dollar amounts for you. That was done through my partners, and I am going to talk about that along the way as well. But yeah, so like, comment. If you're new here, please subscribe. I do live streams pretty regularly, actually. Now that I'm doing Chronicles live, I'm doing live streams every Sunday, even when live stream Sunday is off. So my flagship show is Live Stream Sunday. It's coming back for season 4 on February 6th. We are opening with the great and powerful Robert Jones, the story detective. I don't mind telling you. So that's your first big teaser for season 4. As people come into the chat, please let me know if you can hear me clearly. And also, I'm going to try something new today with music in the background, but I want people to get here first, so that we have people hearing it without and then hearing it with, and you can tell me if you can hear this and if it's too loud and all that kind of stuff. So sound off in the chat if you're here. It's I want to get sound check from you guys. All right. So let's see here. If you're new here, subscribe. We have live stream Sundays coming back on February 6th. That's going to be season 4. That's going to tie into the podcast again, which has been kind of off and on during this off season, just because it's just been rough with the holidays, man. It's just hard. I'm kind of glad that I timed it so that the holidays fell in the off season, because whew, that would have been rough. I'm gonna keep that going from year to year, and maybe just kind of stockpile some content beforehand, and release it throughout, schedule it to release throughout the holidays. All right, guys. So let's I'm gonna go ahead and turn that music on, and you guys tell me as you come in if you can hear that, and if it's too loud, if it drowns me out, if it could be louder without drowning me out. Let me know. Give me a good gauge. All right. So with the rebrand. So to talk about the rebrand, I have to go back a little further than that. After the episode with Adrian Asaf Guadalupe, where he scored an original musical accompaniment to a short story, a flash fiction piece that won a contest that I ran. After that episode, it wasn't because of that episode, but timing wise, this is when it was happening. It was just after that episode, maybe a couple weeks later. He came to me and started telling me about the business that he's getting off the ground right now, or was back then, getting off the ground. And it all had to do with helping creative people achieve their projects to the best quality possible and put their best foot forward as new creators in the industry coming out with a thing. That's what he wants to do. He wants to help people, creative people, to do that, because it's interesting when you think about some people who have been in the biz for the longest time. Kevin Smith, started with a very, very low budget indie movie. Robert Rodriguez, he started out with El Mariachi. Everybody thinks it's Desperado, but it's El Mariachi before that. They start with very low budget projects that give a very good idea of what they can do and a very good idea of what they want to do. It puts out a very clear image. But every single one of those first projects, could have been so much more had that person had access to more resources, had that person had more money, this, that, and the other thing, right? If he had access to experts to collaborate with, things like that. And so that's where my boy is coming from, with his company, where he basically is I don't want to say a manager because he's a collaborator, and I don't want to say assistant because he's a partner. So I don't. I guess I'm not sure what to call his position. He's your partner, and as the partner, he's my partner, and as a partner, he's in this with you. You know what I mean? You're in this together, and he is going to try to make everything happen for you so that your product in the end can be the best product possible. In my case, it's the novel, right? In the end, we want to publish the best novel possible. The story needs to be as good as possible. The book itself, the presentation of it needs to be on point. The marketing behind it needs to be aggressive. All of these things need to happen for a successful first-time author to put out a first novel that one might put up against professional, traditional publishing. So it's a big challenge that we have ahead of ourselves, because my ambitions for this novel are great, and so he and I partnered up, and he also has an investor behind him who is funding a lot of this. So with his help, I was able to upgrade my sound with a new mic, we got some cool gadgets and stuff for streaming. He's the background here, the newly redone walls, is all him as well. So big ups to Adrian, Guadalupe, and his silent partner. I actually didn't clear whether or not we're talking about the third guy. So for now, he's a silent partner. I'll get permission later. Yeah. So the two of us plus the silent third are trying to put this thing out there, right? And so the upgrades was first, and then second up was the rebrand. There needed to be a unifying look to my brand. I had the beginnings of that. I had that goofy, you know, uh, face decal. My hair was shorter then, but at the time I thought of my hair as being very long. It had never been that long before, I don't think. So, excuse me, I don't know what that was. So, so I had the beginnings of that. I had the general idea of my on my own of, hey, everything should look the same. When I first launched my author platform, I made sure to name everything Books by Adrian, to have everything as closely uh, as closely related as possible, so that you know what? Let's what if we do this so that we're actually looking at something? Yeah, yeah. All right. So I needed a unifying look to everything. I already had the makings of that, but I never settled on like a color scheme or anything like that. I didn't know that much into it. I just thought, you have a logo that you put on everything, that you use everywhere, and then you make sure everything looks similar. But I didn't really know. So my boy connects me with, doesn't not just me, like the three, we're all working together here. The branding designer, he gets on, oh man, what was that platform called? I want to say Asana is the software that we use to communicate and work together with them. But I can't right now recall the network, the online network that he used to find this creative person. I'll have to ask him and get back to you guys on that. For some reason, I'm blanking on it, but it's kind of like LinkedIn, where people are looking for business professionals or whatever, but it's for creative professionals. So it's web designers and animators and artists and branding designers and things like that. All their with their portfolios, with their their resumes, like all their work history. You could look through their galleries. It was actually pretty awesome to see so many creative professionals' work displayed in one place. It was really cool. God damn it! I can't believe that I forgot what the website was. I'm gonna have to look that up. Anyway, on there we found a branding designer who we hired to. Originally, we hired on a provisional testing period to ultimately design our entire brand. This first branding designer only ended up designing our logo and our first pass at the logo at that. We went through a period of interviewing different branding designers, where both myself and my partner Adrian Guadalupe, we sat in a live chat with this third person, and we would interview each of them and talk about what we wanted to do with our project, and talk about what we liked about their portfolio, and how we see those two things coming together, and getting ideas from them, and pitches, and pricing and all that stuff. We went through A pretty good interview period there. I want to say about 2 weeks or so of interviewing people. Ultimately, I believe we interviewed five, five or so different people, and in the end, we settled on one. This person did a great job designing the original logo. So the way that it went down was it was actually, I haven't mentioned the person's name because of reasons, but sometimes in business there's a little drama. Um, so this person, they once we hired them, we started talking. We had like an idea, a hash out, meeting where we gave them a bunch of information. We gave them some stuff to read that would give them a good idea what the book was like. Ultimately, we wanted the book, the author platform, and every subsequent project for the foreseeable future to all look like our brand. Okay, like it all needed to feel connected, including the books. Like when you read the books, I want you to be like, yeah, this is a Books by Adrian book. You know what I mean? Like this is what he does. If you don't know what I'm talking about, the best way that I can put it is you see these animations on the screen, the music playing. I put a lot of time and work into this stuff because I always wanted to look the best. I wanted to look cinematic. I wanted to look exciting and big and epic. And I want the same thing for my novels. I want when you read the novel for you to be like, this is cinematic and exciting and epic. Of course, this is Books by Adrian. This is what he does. So we went through the whole thing with this branding designer where we kind of gave her actually probably too much information about how much about the project and what we wanted to do. With this in mind, she then went and designed a sort of color palette, possible fonts, like basically like a rough draft idea of what the brand might look like. Okay, this consisted of some stock images that she would then alter to make look in a certain way and add some color to it. And she would create like these banners. And on these banners, you would have some sort of an image going on, some sort of a color palette going on. And off to the side, you would see some text. And the text would, in each of these banners, be a different font. And so every banner would be slightly different, different variations of the same idea, as well as different as ideas as different as possible. Now, with this first pass, we already felt some red flags coming from this first rebrander because this first branding designer, just because most of her ideas in that color palette, test out that she gave us, were very very similar. So similar that I don't know. You guys tell me. Is it better to just, I don't know. So similar that I mean there just wasn't a lot of variation in her original ideas, and we were like, well, on one hand, that could be that she doesn't have a lot of ideas. On the other hand, it could be that she has zeroed in on what she identifies as being very us. Maybe she's nailed it. Let's find out, right? So the second pass was then her first drafts of logo ideas. So we were expecting to get several different kinds of logos from her to choose from, like which one was the closest to what we wanted, which one we were most excited about, which one we thought had gotten as close as possible to our idea, and and expand upon that one, right? But the pass on logos that she gave us were all pretty much the same logo over and over and over again with slight variations, different colors. Sometimes they were square, sometimes they were round, but ultimately the same idea. The idea being the very awesome idea of the fountain pen. It's crazy. It was just on the screen. Hold on, let me throw it up. Oh my god, I'm so retarded. Excuse me, I used the R word. I apologize. The that right there, the logo. Her idea was the fountain pen rising up, the night sky behind it, and then the smoke like it's a rocket taking off, as well as a fountain pen. Her color palette was very different. It was more purples and blues, I believe, like teals, purples and teals. It looked really nice. It was a beautiful logo, but she basically gave us the same logo over and over with slight variations, and we were like, man, like she really got the logo right. We really like the logo. We don't like that she doesn't have a lot for us to choose from. We don't like that she's not giving us as many different options as possible, because we want to be able to go, crazy places. Like, we want to try something new and exciting, right? So anyway, we talked to her about all this stuff. We weren't getting on the right page with her at any point, so we actually cut ties with her. We paid her extra, actually, so that we could keep the logo that she designed and do with it what we would. And we paid her for the time that we were contracted to pay her for, and we cut ties. We found a new branding designer, one that my buddy was working with on a different project with a different person. Again, this is a company that he's doing this with a lot of creative people. And he had worked with this person on a different project, and he felt that she was the right fit, and he was right. She came on board, and it was smooth sailing from there. It was crazy. When we gave her the logo and we said we want something like this, what do you got? Quick aside, talking about the logo. Yes, it's supposed to be a fountain pen because I'm a writer. Yes, it's supposed to be a rocket taking off into space because I write sci-fi. But it's also, in my eyes, a tower over a tree line, which is a very fantasy, trope. The big dark tower, right? Because I also write fantasy, so I feel like it. That's why I fell in love with this logo, is because I felt that it hit all three things this brand is. Or that my books will be, rather, because this is the stamp that's going to go on the spine of the book. You know what I mean? Like, this is sci-fi, this is fantasy, this is books by Adrian. He writes books. So I just fell in love with the logo, and we liked both the round and square designs. The round one in particular because the smoke spilled out from the circle. It came out towards you. It was really cool. So we took all of that to the new branding designer, and she came to us with a whole bunch of different color schemes and font accompaniments, and she put together an incredible presentation about how each font, what qualities she chose the font for in relation to the logo, in relation to the brand, to what we're going to be doing, and all that stuff. It was incredibly thorough, and there was just so much to choose from. So much so that it was really hard to choose. My partner and I came down to 4 favorites, 2 of mine and 2 of his. We argued back and forth. And we got it down to 2 favorites, and then we argued those down, and we showed them to people, and we got their opinions, and we took a long time to settle on the color scheme, because that's ultimately what we were settling on, and the font that we were settling. The font, actually, as soon as we saw it, we were both like, "That's the one." As soon as we saw it, we were. We both had the email with the different branding options, and again, it's all the same logo in different shapes, round and square, and in different color schemes. All kinds of different color schemes. Sometimes gradient, sometimes not. Sometimes it was completely solid. Sometimes there was only one color. In some cases, it was just empty space and like a teal color. That was really nice. There were so many really good ones that I apologize if the feed is stuttering. I'm noticing that my Wi-Fi is not the best right now. I believe it's a cloudy day outside. It's probably not looking the best. So I apologize if there's any lag, and I apologize for burping on the mic. Sorry, guys. You can't edit that out when it's live. So, damn it, what was I saying? So, she gave us all the different options, and we had narrowed it down to two, and we were arguing it back and forth. Now, the arguments for both of them were great, man. Like it was a really hard decision. I believe what it came down to was I was the one who was sold on this one, the brand that we now look like these colors, the Mars Gold, the damn it, the I'm not supposed to tell you the name of the colors. The all these colors together, that tannish color with the reddish rusty color with the goldish color with, and then even our black is a very specific black. There's some red in there. There's some red to it, and it's kind of grayed out. It's supposed to look, very sci-fi, very deep space, very black hole kind of deal. So, yeah, man. So like I was the one who was sold on this design. I was the one who just was in love with it, and I was arguing for this one, and my boy was arguing for the other one, and and his argument was that I believe, if I remember correctly, his argument was that his choice was more accessible to most things. You could put it on most places and it would look nice no matter what other color schemes were going on around it. It was the most adaptable, while being beautiful and standing out, on its own. And I was like, yeah, that's awesome. I like mine specifically because it stands out, because it doesn't fit in everywhere. Because anywhere you see these weird colors together, you're going to be like, that looks like Books by Adrian. Everything that everything that I put out is going to have these very unique colors that are so very Books by Adrian, and they're very much in line with the book that I'm putting out as well, because ultimately I have the two worlds that I'm living on, the Spark and Gaia, and both of them have very uniquely colored skies throughout the day and night. It's not as simple as blue skies and darkness at night. Like there's a lot of color variations going on in the skies, and so this just kind of fits. You know what I mean? It fits with us. So ultimately this one won out, and I was very, very happy. I won fair and square. I won fair and square. But it was a very, very fun process, and she continued on after that, because once we had chosen the logo, then our branding designer provided us with what I if I remember correctly, it's called it's like the brand Bible, okay. And the brand Bible gives you all of the information that makes your brand, the colors specifically, down to all the computer code that you need to replicate those colors over and over again. The names of those colors. It gives you the fonts that are now uniquely yours. Not uniquely; these fonts are available elsewhere, but together with this color scheme, together with this logo, together with this platform, they are uniquely yours in that way. And it's two fonts. It's one for like big headers, which is the this main font that you see here, the kind of like big, bold, curved, kind of letters. And then there's a thinner font that is more for like writing paragraphs on websites and things like that, and subtitles and descriptions and things like that. So two different fonts that are assigned to your brand. The explanation of what the colors, represent for the brand. There are rules. It gives you rules as to how you can use the logos and how you cannot use the logos. The things that you can do to the logos and the things that you cannot do to the logos. These are rules that you strictly adhere to for your brand so that you can maintain that same look at all times. It also gives you, what else? It gives you, I believe that's all that well, again, it explains everything. It's a very thorough document where at any time, if you have a question about like, does this work with my brand, you can go back to that Bible and look through it and be like, yes or no. You can, it's very clear, very easy to understand. The rules are very, very, I mean, she gives you measurements, you know what I mean? Like there are measurements and everything that you have to adhere to for your logos. It's dope. It's really cool. There's a whole process that goes into effectively creating a brand, and it was a very interesting process to be a part of. What else? So let's see here. Let's see. I feel like after the branding Bible, she provided us then with, let's see, the next thing she provided us with, I believe, is the actual zip files with all of the logos in it. She teaches you how to use it before she gives it to you. She gives you the branding Bible to learn first, then she gives you all the stuff. And dude, it's awesome. You unzip that stuff and it's all full of all kinds of logos and different images to use all over the place. My kids just got home. I apologize for the noise. Anyway, it gives you all of the fonts. It gives you all that stuff, everything that you need to use on your brand. And then at that point, it's up to you to use that as you create new things. Now, she continued to work with my partner in designing the website. He's ultimately the web designer, and he's the one that created the new website that you see at booksbyadrian.com now. He worked with her on designing it. Obviously, she created the images for it, and he told her like what he wanted with the design and everything. They collaborated on it, and ultimately I gave him my input like as the drafts went through, and it was also a really cool process. It's not over yet, actually. There's a whole other side to the website that we're building, which entails an entire community as well as some products that we're going to be selling. So that's being built slowly and with much more care and patience, I think. So in the end, I think that's going to be, this is a little low. I think I broke my holder thing. It's not holding on as tight as it's supposed to. So that was the designing of the brand. We had back and forth with the designer throughout the entire thing. She was giving us, both of them were giving us, different stages of it, different kinds of drafts along the way. It was all very much collaborative throughout the entire process. Sorry, guys. Okay, so that was the rebranding. Now, a lot of folks ask me about the animations, and to that, I'll say this: I've mentioned before that I have a subscription to a animation designing platform called Videos, VIDDYOZE. Excuse me. If you would like to be able to create unique animations on a regular basis for your platform, I would recommend being a member. However, the base membership, which is super attractive, is at $67 lifetime membership, gives you access to, I believe, about 300 templates. And that is a lot. No doubt you will find one in there for your platform, animation, like the welcome logo, that animation that everybody needs to have at the beginning of their videos, like the ones that I have. Uh, for sure, you can find one in there, create it, put it up. It gives you some customization. You can change what the template says, and you might be able to change some of the colors depending on the template. Uh, and you have 300 templates to choose from. From time to time, go back in there, create new animations. Cool. However, that's just kind of like the what's it called? The sample that the dealer gets you hooked on. What's that called? The gateway. That's the gateway drug. Where they really get you is the template club, and then above they have more than that I haven't explored yet. But the template club is a monthly subscription. You could pay yearly, but it's a hefty sum. It's a it's a monthly subscription, and it gives you access to. At the moment, I think it's at 2,500, over 2,500 templates. In addition to having so many more choices, you also have way much more customization. You can customize the fonts on most of these. So that's how I get animations that all have my branding's font in it. You can change the font, you can change the colors, you can often change the music. A lot of the templates in the normal base level have music and sound effects throughout them. Cool. But if you don't like the music and you have to take out the soundtrack to add your own music, you lose the sound effects. In the template club, many of their animations have the original version, which is the music and the soundtrack, and then the music and the sound effects. And they also have a second option where they take out the music and they leave in the sound effects. So that also opens up customization to you where you can add in your own music for your own brand. So the template club is definitely worth it, but it's a monthly subscription. It's going to cost you money, and it's one of the things that Patreon helps me pay for. Honestly, Patreon pays for my video subscription. I tell all of you this because if you want to go and join videos and make some animations for your platform, $67 is not a bad price, and you can get it done, and then you can always make a few more animations here and there, but you're eventually going to run. I ran out fast. I blew through all the different kinds of animations in that base level pretty fast. They don't add new ones to that base level very often, and and when they do, it's usually a special occasion one like New Year's or Christmas or something like that. The the so I tell you guys all this because you can do that, or if you just want one animation, you don't want to pay for a subscription because all you need is an opening animation for your channel, or all you need is a closing animation, or all you need is one teaser trailer, or one trailer for your channel, or one trailer for your book. You don't want a lifelong subscription to something that you only need for one use. In that case, come to me. I'm doing a kind of a side hustle here. I have a subscription to the thing. I'm already using it for my own platform, so I can do it for you guys for much cheaper than if you were to sign up for one of these big subscription, because the monthly subscription is it's up there. So yeah, man, if you want an opening animation for your channel, hit me up. My information is all down below. You can reach me all kinds of different ways: email, Instagram, just Facebook, whatever. Just send me a message, and we'll talk. You can. I usually need you to have a logo already to work with. I'm not a logo designer. I'm not going to design your brand the way that I've been talking about in this episode. I'm not the branding designer. I was the customer in that situation. I don't know how to do all that stuff. You should already have a logo. if you want me to create an animation for you that includes a logo. If not, I can create an animation for you that doesn't have any kind of logo. In either case, let me know what you're looking for, what kind of colors you're thinking about. If you are thinking colors, if not, I'll play with my own thing. If you have a logo, I'll usually go off of the logo's colors. In any case, come to me, ask me, tell me about your project, tell me about your logo, tell me about your brand, what you want it to look like for your opening animation, and then I'll do my best to create something for you. I'll show it to you. If you like it, you can buy it off of me. It's a one-time purchase, and then you're done, and you don't have to worry about subscriptions to something. Same for trailers. If you want a trailer for your book, or if you want a trailer for your channel, just tell me what you want me to do with the available content that you have, and I'll work on it. I also edit, on my own videos here, and I'm happy to help you guys out. I know that it's a lot easier to pay like a one-time fee, like like I'll buy this from you for however much, and the pricing is gonna vary depending on. That's why I'm not talking about pricing on here, because it will vary from person to person. Whatever you want done is going to dictate how much work I need to put into it. That's going to dictate how much time it's going to take me, and that's going to dictate how much it's going to cost in the long run. So I just splashed myself in the eye. So booksbyadrian@gmail.com if you want to email me. Booksbyadrian@gmail.com. In fact, let me put it up on the screen. All right, booksbyadrian@gmail.com. Look at that @ symbol. That's dope. Oh, I don't know if you guys noticed. Anybody using StreamYard, I don't know if it's just for the pay service or if it's for all of them, but check it out. Like, I'm on a solo position for my camera, but you can see my background. That's new. There's a new little thingy that you can do. So check that out. I don't remember how I did it. I think there was like an alert or something that there was a new thing, and then I clicked on the new thing and it showed me what it was. So look for that. All right, guys. Well, I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Unfortunately, we didn't have anybody in the chat, so we didn't have any questions to answer. I was hoping to have some questions that I could kick back and forth with you guys, and maybe get into some pockets that I didn't think of. But I gave you guys a basic rundown of how my rebranding went. It costs money. I'm not talking dollar amounts with you guys because every branding designer is different. The first one we worked with and the second one we worked with were both different in pricing. The ones we interviewed all had different pricing. So there's a low end of the spectrum, there's a way high end of the spectrum, and there's all kinds of in between. So you would have to do your own research, interview your own marketing designers and all that to get prices and whatnot. I'm not going to go into that. But if anybody has any questions that I didn't answer in my little run through of how we designed our rebrand here, leave them in the comments downstairs, and I will get back to you in the comment section, or maybe I'll do a part 2 to this deal next week if I find out throughout the week that there's going to be a bigger turnout or a turnout. I'm sorry, there's nobody in the chat today. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for coming to the replay. A couple of announcements before I leave. This coming Tuesday, marks the premiere on YouTube of the Books by Adrian Breaking Bad commentary. It looks a little something like this. Patreon members got early access to the YouTube edit last week. Top tier Patreon members got the exclusive access to the full length, uncut commentary. If you are interested in either of those things, go to patreon.com/books by Adrian and sign up. The lowest tier is the $1 tier that only gives you access to voting on polls. These polls are very important. They guide where the platform goes in the future. So I encourage it, and anytime anybody signs up for a $1 membership, I get very, very happy because it means somebody liked me enough to want to contribute. They didn't have much. They'll give what they can. $1 is all I can ask for. It's incredibly generous of anybody to join my Patreon at all. So welcome one and all. But that's only going to give you the polls, the $1. If you want the early access to the videos, that's tier 3, and early and exclusive access to the full uncut versions is tier 4. Okay. That was Patreon. That was Breaking Bad. We have Livestream Sunday coming back very soon. I'll be announcing the lineup in the newsletter later this week. And I'll be announcing the lineup and unveiling the playlist maybe the week after that on YouTube. So stay tuned for all of that stuff because I'm really excited about season 4. I'm not gonna lie, man. I've got some really awesome guests lined up, some bangers, and while I have some very, very awesome guests that I consider my peers. I also have some very, very awesome guests who are very new to AuthorTube, and I am helping to introduce them to as many people as possible. But I also have some very big guests that I consider very big because of the size of their audience, and I'm incredibly excited about the lineup for season 4. I don't want to hype it up too much, but man, there's a big one in there. Like there's a big one in there. Yeah. All right. So thank you very much for coming to the replay of Chronicles, episode 5, branding, marketing, tips and tricks. Videos was mostly the tips and tricks. But if you want original animations made for you for a one-time fee and one and done and you're done, let me know. I got you. All right, you guys. Right on, writers. Like, comment, subscribe. We out.